So I think in our current culture, we are encouraged to follow our passions. So whatever our carnal body is telling us, we're supposed to follow that freely. And so like the culture of like hooking up and contraception, all of these different things that the world says are good and freeing, like allow us to freely engage in these passions that are going to take us far away from like what our bodies and souls are made for. So I think that um, we're supposed to like look higher and call ourselves to a higher, more moral standard so that we can actually live freely.
I think the hookup culture for the man, it allows the man to be passive in this world and to not see the dignity in the other person, specifically in how, as a man, they should uphold the dignity, especially of our sisters in Christ. So it'll completely wash that away and distort it.
I think I would really be stunned if someone was like, yeah, I'm gonna try to get with someone tonight, and I'm freaking out. But I think it's definitely a real thing, and it's really sad to know that that's like a normal thing going on these days. It just breaks my heart knowing that's happening, knowing that like people don't understand the effect of just like really giving themselves and really like
physical intimacy in relationships, especially where it's not meant to be. No matter what happens, no matter what the relationship is, like there's gonna be a bond there. Like that's what happens during sex, is that a bond is created. And so outside of marriage, if you're just dating someone and you know that you can break up, it's gonna make it a lot harder to recognize those red flags of when you're supposed to break up.
It just creates this cycle between man and woman where they are continuously hurting each other. And it's just a really painful cycle that you can see that in our wounds that show up, especially when we enter into a relationship that is good, those wounds can come up.
Yeah, you can't disconnect it. You can't, the hookup culture is just heartbreaking because people are just selling themselves short. Like they are like signing up for just like a counterfeit love, oh, he deserves so much more.
So our current culture is a culture of noise. And so everywhere we go, it just feels like we can't escape the noise. And the culture also encourages us to, whenever we're feeling something, just to broadcast it. It doesn't encourage us to look inward or to discuss with a small group of people, or just to sit with it silently in our heart. It encourages us to take it to social media or talk about it in like a big group setting, but in the smaller spaces, we're allowed to do deeper introspection. And so I think that the current culture inhibits that just a little bit.
I think one thing that was really fruitful in our relationship was knowing that at any point I could ask myself with full clarity, is this the man I'm supposed to marry, or should we break up right now? And I think being able to truthfully answer that question, because we weren't being physically intimate with each other before marriage, just gave me a lot of clarity and a lot of peace, knowing that I could say yes fully and that nothing was clouding that judgment. And we've seen a lot of our friends too struggle with that, and just having a hard time getting past a relationship that they know they're not supposed to be in. They know it's not meant to be for forever, but because they crossed those physical boundaries, it makes it really hard to separate that and then to want to leave that person, because now there's a part of you that's given away to that person that's always going to be bound to them. You don't get that part back.
Trying to disconnect emotional attachment from this very intimate and beautiful physical attachment, I don't think is possible. And I think with just friends that I've known, with stories that I've heard, talks, books, media, like you cannot disconnect the emotion from the physical, and it just leads to more hurt and more brokenness.
The body and soul are connected, and whatever you do with your body is going to affect your soul. So you can numb yourself, but that doesn't mean you're not going to feel it. And the repercussions, I think, will be felt later on for sure.